It's Friday, February 20th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, jobs gone, government cuts begin as budget crunch tightens. Top news headlines just ahead.
And listen to your heart. We'll chat with a cardiologist about a free event happening later today that could detect undiagnosed heart valve disease. That's in our second hour.
Plus, it's slippery outside, and if you've taken a tumble this winter and have gotten injured, we'll get some advice from our partners at the Mike Murphy Law Group about what you can do. All that and so much more just ahead on the Friday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, good morning, Atlantic Canada is just about to turn 6:01, 6:31 if you are in Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. There we go. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
Me,
Yeah, thank you. I know it's been kind of up and down this week, battling a bit of a cold, but I actually took yesterday off after hosting the Inspired Gala for Special Olympics in Halifax Wednesday night. I knew I wasn't going to be getting home till close to 11, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to need a good sleep in the next morning. So, and all of a sudden it's Friday.
Yep. Well, a well-deserved sleep-in, too. We showed that yesterday, and it looked like a great time, as always.
Oh, my gosh. Loretta Claiborne and Latavia, you interviewed her earlier this week. She was truly inspiring, Special Olympics ambassador, a global ambassador. She's ran dozens of marathons, still continues to do new sports. She ran the Boston Marathon in 3:03, 3 hours and 3 minutes.
Incredible.
That's impressive.
Yeah, standing ovation throughout the night for her. She was absolutely incredible. So, yeah, I was just so happy to be a small part of the night in the Special Olympics family.
Absolutely.
It looked like a great turnout.
It was. Yeah. Athletes were honored, coaches were honored, same thing with volunteers. So I was just so happy to be there, and I'm happy to be back today.
Well, we're happy to have you back. Are we going to be happy with the weather today?
It's not too bad. Kind of like rinse and repeat, kind of what we've saw all week. But for St. John's, Newfoundland, snow has cleared out. You'll be seeing some sunshine in your area a little bit later on. A bit cooler, though, starting off your day, -4 degrees in your area. So a bit colder, though. We have seen that colder air start to move through the region, at least into the overnight hours, carrying into early in the morning. -14 degrees right now in Fredericton, -10 in Charlottetown, -6 degrees in Halifax with -5 in Sydney, as well as into Gander. Taking a look at that wind chill is going to feel quite cold early in the morning for many areas across Atlantic Canada, still seeing a risk of frostbite over in Labrador City. We do have new watches and warnings in effect, a special weather statement in effect for parts of Prince Edward Island, across Nova Scotia as we brace for that winter storm headed our way on Monday. And we do have a winter storm warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland for this afternoon until Saturday, as well as a blowing snow advisory. Same thing goes for parts of Labrador, a blowing snow advisory, winter storm warning, and a snowfall warning in effect. So we are going to still see some active weather in our forecast later today for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. For the Maritime region, still seeing a few flurries early in the morning for parts of the region. Will continue to clear out, looking at some sunshine into the afternoon. In terms of the wind, it's going to remain quite light, at least starting off the day. 28 kilometers per hour right now in Canso, 24 into Grand Etang, looking at 15 in North Cape, 13 in Halifax. Only one wind gust at this time, getting up to 39 kilometers per hour in Canso. We'll take a look at your weekend forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. New Brunswick RCMP have accused a youth of participating in terrorist activities involving the 764 network, an online group recently added to Canada's list of terrorist entities. Mounties say the youth is now subject to a terrorism peace bond, the second imposed on a youth in the province this month. RCMP alleged the youth used online sites to promote the group, which they say uses social media and gaming platforms to spread violent narratives and radicalize people. A popular Halifax art gallery is missing a couple of intricate sketches of birds. The owner of Argyle Fine Art says somebody walked away with 2 original colored pencil drawings by local artist Dusan Postovic. The birds were framed in simple black frames, and it's believed they were stolen sometime between Wednesday and Thursday. In a Facebook post, owner Adriana Afford says, quote, "We just want the art back. If you stole it, please return it. No questions asked." And a pair of valuable hockey jerseys have been stolen from a popular Cole Harbour tavern.
They were bracketed from the top and the bottom, like secure brackets around them. These were not hung by a nail. They were secure brackets. So we can only assume that they have been in enough times to continuously loosen them as they go out, because there's no way you would have been able to pull these off the wall.
Signed jerseys from Sidney Crosby and Nathan McKinnon were stolen from Big League's front lobby Wednesday night. The masked robbery was caught on camera. Halifax police are investigating. Big League's hopes the jerseys are safely returned. The maritime population boom has ended, with all provinces losing residents at the end of last year. New Brunswick's fiscal update this week noted the province lost about 1,000 people in the fourth quarter of 2025, the first time the population has fallen since the beginning of 2017. StatsCan says Nova Scotia was down about 1,400 people in the quarter, the first population drop the province has recorded since the end of 2020. PEI's population actually fell in 2 quarters in 2025, including the fourth when it lost about 150 people. And Newfoundland and Labrador also lost about 200 people in the same period. In Nova Scotia, job cuts began Thursday and are expected to impact a number of departments before next week's budget. About 80 positions across a number of departments have been eliminated, according to a provincial employee who asked CTV News not to identify them. It's expected the upcoming budget will reduce the size of the civil service by 5%, while Crown corporations will shrink by 3%. Another 175 employees are being redeployed. The NSGEU confirmed the layoffs, noting the province will be less welcoming because many of the job losses impact those working in tourism.
I know some of these folks, and they are good, hardworking Nova Scotians, great ambassadors to this province. My heart goes out to them because this is devastating news, no question.
Sandra Mullen says the layoffs will see the closure of visitor information centres, including the busy one at Peggy's Cove. A handful of schools in New Brunswick are on edge about the future. The province is trying to find places to save money in order to combat its $1.3 billion deficit. One option is to close schools with fewer than 100 students. In Riverside, Albert, the community has created a petition to keep the 121-year-old Riverside Consolidated School open to the 50 students it serves.
I would like to think that it would not happen, but 11 years ago we fought to keep this school open, and they really had to rally and fight, and I believe representatives from the district came and were bused from Elma all the way to Hillsborough to see what it would be like.
We are not in favor of closing any of our schools. Having consulted with the minister, it's clear that this is an exercise where they're looking at everything around the province. So it's not an exercise where everybody should be panicked right away. There will be a time for panic if and when we get there. We are nowhere near that point.
The process to close a school takes time too, but the finance minister said earlier this week, other than raising taxes, everything is on the table. Finally, we end with the latest prices at the pumps. For the most part, you'll be paying the same or less to fill up. In Nova Scotia, Zone 1 gas fell by 1.8 cents. The minimum price now $1.36.2 a litre. Diesel decreased by 5.4 cents. The minimum price now $1.81.8 a litre. In PEI, no changes. No change in the price of gas. It rests at $1.49 a litre. And after the price dropped by 12 cents overnight Tuesday, the price of diesel remains unchanged at $1.88.4 a litre. Finally, in New Brunswick, gas decreased by 1.6 cents. The maximum price now $1.39.6. Now to the only increase on the board this morning. Diesel in New Brunswick jumped by 5.6 cents. The maximum price now $1.94 a litre. Indeed, and that is your first look at your local news headlines.
Indeed. I mean, we always use words. Never mind. We're moving on. I'm tired because yesterday was emotionally exhausting.
Oh my gosh. I know. Can we just save 2 minutes here?
Yeah, I know.
Up and down.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we do have to give a big round of applause to the women's national hockey team because they did play an incredible game and still brought home a silver medal.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like, we do need to take that into consideration. Yes, it's not gold, but not everything, what is it? Not all
that glitters is gold.
Thank you.
Oh, their faces. Jeez.
I know. There was cheers and there were tears, and overall, Canada saved their best game of the Olympics for this gold medal matchup. Kristen O'Neill recorded the first ever shorthanded goal at the Olympics in a gold medal game for Canada. So incredible. They held on to that lead until the final 2 minutes.
Final 2 minutes.
Captain America, Hillary Knight, secured the overtime, and it was USA's Megan Keller with the golden goal.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was so emotional. You can see Marie-Philippe Poulin just absolutely destroyed. She had tears in her eyes, but she did take the time to hug every single one of those players. She went down the line, hugged every single one of them, Captain America, or Captain Clutch rather.
Yes.
And there was a beautiful embrace between her and Hillary Knight, who have now matched up against each other for the last time in the Olympics.
Wow.
So, you know,
Good game.
yeah, great game, heartbreak, fantastic game put together by Team Canada. And Renee Desbiens had an incredible game and literally stood on her head for them. And nothing but pride for our Canadian women.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and shout out to Blair Turnbull too. I mean, she was fantastic. And it's just the 2 minutes, and you're watching it, and you're thinking anything can happen in 2 minutes, but it looks like Canada could have it. You know they're starting to feel it. And then, of course, the Americans got that goal, and then the second one in overtime very quickly.
And it was, everyone talked about how this America team was so young and put together, but it was their vets that came through.
Yeah, in the overtime.
Megan Keller, who's the captain of the Boston Fleet, who are actually leading the PWHL. So, like, it's, you know, like, it's the big moments, the big players come through.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But you're right. So much to be proud of.
So much to be proud
in terms of our Canadian team.
Absolutely. And we have another game to look forward to today. So, you know, keep those nerves on an all-time high.
And if Poulin can play injured like that,
Crosby can.
Yeah, then Crosby can.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11:40. All right. Still ahead. First look at your national and international news headlines on this Friday morning. And Latavia has a look at the Friday forecast before we head towards the weekend. Good morning to our viewers in the port of Yarmouth. And a big thank you to all the fishers we have in the region. The forecast is up next.
Welcome back and happy Friday. The time now is 6:15. We're taking a live look at Fredericton. As the sun begins to rise, you'll be greeted with lots of sunshine in your area. Cold, though, early this morning at -16. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. We do have a bit of active weather in the forecast and another cold start to the day. Colder than yesterday. We've seen that colder air start to track across the region. As of right now, it is -8 degrees in Charlottetown, -7 starting off your day in Halifax and in Sydney, -14 degrees in Happy Valley Goose Bay, -3 into St. John's, Newfoundland. A special weather statement now issued across Nova Scotia and central and eastern Prince Edward Island. This is for Monday evening until around noon on Tuesday. We are expecting a snowstorm bringing snowfall at around 15 to 25 centimeters of accumulation. Wind gusts will range from 60 to 80 kilometers per hour. Also have a winter storm warning for this afternoon until Saturday for the Great Northern Peninsula. Looking at snowfall of up to 30 centimeters of accumulation. A blowing snow advisory as well for this weekend. Looking at snowfall at around 15 centimeters within that blowing snow. Wind gusts between 50 to 70 kilometers per hour. As well as a blowing snow advisory in effect for parts of Labrador. We are expecting around 10 to 15 centimeters within that blowing snow. Wind gusts ranging from 60 to 80. A winter storm warning as well for this morning until Saturday. Looking at snowfall 20 to 30 centimeters of accumulation. Wind gusts 70 kilometers per hour. A snowfall warning also for this afternoon until Saturday. Could see around 10 to 15 centimeters of accumulation. Wind gusts of 30. Over to our forecast timelines. So we've seen that flurry activity clear out of the maritime region. All three maritime provinces seeing sunshine today. Looking at either sunny skies to a mix of sun and cloud. For parts of Newfoundland, Labrador, still going to see that active weather today. So be careful on roads because of that blowing snow we're expecting in parts of Newfoundland and parts of Labrador. Into the afternoon, much of the same, lots of sunshine. Temperatures still remaining above seasonal for parts of the maritime region, but temperatures will start to cool down, especially as we enter into tonight. Factor in that wind chill, feeling a lot colder overnight tonight. Okay, taking us into early Saturday morning, we do have another system moving in, bringing flurries back around. So if you're wondering about snowfall totals, this is basically until early Saturday morning. Looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for southern New Brunswick, as well as 1 to 10 centimeters. The heaviest being into Yarmouth at around 10 to 15. And for Labrador, looking at around 10 to 15 centimeters of accumulation, 1 to 15 for parts of Newfoundland. So here's a look at our forecast for today. Lots of sunshine across New Brunswick. Daytime highs will range from -8 to 2 degrees. For Prince Edward Island, looking at mainly sunny skies throughout your day today. Highs between -6 to -4. Pretty light wind out of the northwest at around 20 kilometers per hour. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing, looking at lots of sunshine throughout your day with highs ranging from -3 to +2. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, lots of sunshine for you as well. Snow arrives into the evening, though, with daytime highs ranging from 2 to 5 degrees. For Labrador City, a chance of flurries throughout your day yet again today with a high of -18 degrees, so much colder today. 1 degree in St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a mix of sun and cloud. Flurries expected into the evening. So Saturday's forecast, temperatures really start to cool down across the region. We do have some light snowfall and or flurries for parts of the Maritime region, flurry activity for parts of Labrador, snow for parts of Newfoundland. And then into Saturday night, we start to see that snowfall increase across parts of the Maritime region, and takes us into Sunday's forecast. We start to see that clear off into the afternoon, leaving sunshine for the Maritime region, but cooler temperatures yet again as we prepare for that coastal storm on Monday. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was released Thursday evening, 11 hours after he was arrested. Neither charged nor cleared, but police say he remains under investigation. The last time a senior British royal was arrested was almost 400 years ago. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
The former prince seen leaving a police station after a day in custody, with police also at Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's home.
It truly is a seismic moment for this country, and I think for the monarchy as well.
He's still eighth in line to the throne.
Arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, police looking into allegations raised in the Epstein files that Mountbatten Windsor passed on documents to the late sex offender during his time as a... Mountbatten Windsor has always denied any wrongdoing.
Whether those details that were passed on by Andrew to Epstein were all part of his job and part of his responsibilities, well, that's an open question. However, the official guidance for trade envoys was that they have a duty of confidentiality.
Mountbatten Windsor spent a decade as trade envoy. He made about a dozen visits to Canada in that period.
What's your reaction to your brother's arrest?
King Charles wasn't answering questions about his little brother, but released a statement saying he learned the news with the deepest concern and the law must take its course.
I think it's a shame. I think it's very sad. I think it's so bad for the royal family.
It's really sad that, the United States stands for justice, and it's really lacking right now.
Growing calls for action on the Epstein files in the United States, including the family of Virginia Giuffre. She died by suicide in May, and in 2022 settled a lawsuit accusing the former Prince Andrew of sexually abusing her as a teenager.
We're hopeful. I think we're very hopeful that this is the start of the domino effect. This is where the house of cards starts falling.
There's no information yet about any possible charges. In the most extreme cases, misconduct in public office carries a life sentence, though unlikely here.
CTV's Abigail Beeman reporting in Ottawa. Out west, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith addressed her province last night, a week before her government is set to table its next budget. She said 9 questions will be part of a referendum on October 19th, including whether to restrict social services for some immigrants and whether non-permanent residents should be charged a fee to access health and education systems.
The fact is, Alberta taxpayers can no longer be asked to continue to subsidize the entire country through equalization and federal transfers, permit the federal government to flood our borders with new arrivals, and then give free access to our most generous in the country social programs to anyone who moves here.
And there are new concerns that the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement could be in jeopardy. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more on the signals from Washington and the reaction in Ottawa.
It's about time that we are less reliant and more resilient.
Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne believes Canadians understand the reality of the situation. While President Donald Trump continues to say he could walk away from CUSMA, the New York Times is reporting 2 Canadian officials involved in trade discussions say expectations for a full renewal of the deal are very low. Still, the minister isn't ready to give up hope yet.
So we'll continue to make the point and keep telling them that we're ready at the table whenever the parties want to review CUSMA.
Now, it comes as the minister overseeing trade with the U.S. just wrapped up a trade mission to Mexico.
There's no division as between the interest of Mexico and Canada in committing ourselves to the trilateral trade agreement.
Canada has ripped us off for years. Not anymore, they're not.
This trade expert believes threats from the White House are part of the negotiation, but Canada needs to continue making a case for CUSMA.
To members of Congress, to state governments, to U.S. business, to underscore how important this agreement is to the United States.
Now, there is a sense of urgency to end the trade war with the U.S. According to Statistics Canada, this country's trade deficit grew to $31.3 billion last year, the largest since the COVID-19 pandemic. Overall, exports were down slightly, but the Canadian economy is slowly shifting away from the U.S., with 5.8% fewer exports going south. And exports to countries excluding the U.S. rose by 17.2% in 2025.
We have what the world wants, whether it's come from critical mineral, from energy, from natural resources.
The finance minister adds while Canada wants to work with the U.S., there are other trading opportunities out there.
CTV's Mike Lecouture reporting in Ottawa. Quick break. When we return, we'll have your must-see moment on this Friday from our colleagues at TSN. We'll be right back after this. Please stay with us. Lots more to come.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. Lots on the sports docket as of yesterday, but now we'll head over to our colleagues at TSN for your must-see moment for today.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for it, we head to Cleveland, where the Cavs were hosting the Nats first quarter. Cavs running the floor, James Harden lobs it up for Donovan Mitchell, who throws it down over the defender. Harden not even looking Mitchell's way. Cleveland's new backcourt duo putting on a little showtime for your must-see moment from Thursday. And coming up Friday on TSN, you can see men's NCAA basketball. We have VCU taking on St. Louis. Coverage for that one gets underway at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast, a high of -2 today, lots of sunshine across the province. Then on Saturday, -1, we're looking at mainly sunny skies. And then on Sunday, -1, yet again, a mix of sun and cloud. For Nova Scotia, 2 degrees today, mainly sunny, evening flurries. On Saturday, -2 with flurries across the province. And then on Sunday, -2 degrees, sunshine returns. Prince Edward Island, -5, lots of sunshine with increasing cloudiness into the afternoon. 0 on Saturday with snow. Sunday, sunshine returns, -3.
Coming up in this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. Today we want you to tell us about your happy place, the place you go to get away from it all. That's in about 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada at 6:31 on your Friday morning. A place to get away from it all. And we're showing Costco. If I had to guess, that would be Peter Harrison.
Wow. You should place money.
I should. I should. There are people. There are some places that you have a love-hate relationship with too. Costco. I'm a member.
Yep.
I go there for sure. Stuff that's great there. Happy place?
Happy place? Maybe not so much. Maybe on a weekday. Not so much on a weekday.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a busy spot before we have a snowstorm. But
absolutely. So I'm sure this weekend it will be quite full. We're taking a live look right now at the Armdale roundabout. Currently -7 degrees in your area, so it is going to factor in that wind chill early this morning. So something to keep in mind when you are headed out. Temperatures will warm up yet again above the freezing mark for parts of the region. As of right now, -16 degrees in Fredericton, -8 in Charlottetown, with -7 degrees in Sydney, -3 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at that wind chill factoring in early this morning. So colder than yesterday. We'll continue to see that wind chill dive down, especially into the overnight hours tonight and into the weekend. There is still that risk of frostbite over in Labrador City. So a special weather statement currently in effect across Nova Scotia, parts of Prince Edward Island for Monday evening until noon Tuesday. We also have a winter storm warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland, as well as a blowing snow advisory. Same thing goes for parts of Labrador with a snowfall warning as well. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. We are seeing some active weather across parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. For the maritime region, going to see lots of sunshine throughout the day today and pretty light wind. As of right now, 26 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang and in Canso, 15 in Sydney, 13 in Charlottetown. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take another look at your long-range forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. New Brunswick RCMP have accused a youth of participating in terrorist activities involving the 764 network, an online group recently added to Canada's list of terrorist entities. Mounties say the youth is now subject to a terrorism peace bond, the second imposed on a youth in the province this month. RCMP alleged the youth used online sites to promote the group, which they say uses social media and gaming platforms to spread violent narratives and radicalize people. The accused in the Jansen Baker double murder trial testified in his own defense again yesterday, insisting he was not responsible for killing an elderly couple in their home in Dieppe in 2019. CTV's Derek Haggett has the latest.
Once again, Baker denied he had anything to do with the murders of Bernard and Rosemarie Saunier. "I know that I did not commit this crime," he told the jury. Crown prosecutor James McConnell showed court a photo of Baker wearing a long gold chain. Court previously heard testimony that a man named Nick Bain allegedly gave Baker a chain as part of a payment for killing the Sauniers. "You earned that chain, didn't you?" asked McConnell. "I didn't earn it by killing anybody, that's for sure," replied Baker. McConnell asked Baker about reddish stains on his shirt. Baker said it was an old stain and it could have been anything, possibly juice or ketchup. McConnell pressed Baker about the stains. "It is absolutely not blood," said Baker. Baker has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of the Sauniers, who were shot and killed in their home on September 7, 2019. The trial will resume on Monday. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
Another Halifax brewery is turning off its taps. After 9 years of business, Two Crows announced online they would be closing their doors at both their Brunswick Street and Quinpool Road locations on March 8th. They're not the only craft brewery to close in our region in the last few years. Charlottetown-based Upstreet Brewing shut down last year after a decade in the business, while Serpent Brewing in Spryfield closed in late 2023. The maritime population boom has ended, with all provinces losing residents at the end of last year. New Brunswick's fiscal update this week noted the province lost about 1,000 people in the fourth quarter of 2025, the first time the population has fallen since the beginning of 2017. StatsCan says Nova Scotia was down about 1,400 people in the quarter, the first population drop the province has recorded since the end of 2020. PEI's population actually fell in 2 quarters in 2025, including the fourth, when it lost about 150 people. Newfoundland and Labrador also lost about 200 people in the same period. Now to the latest prices at the pumps. For the most part, you'll be paying the same or less to fill up. In Nova Scotia, Zone 1, gas fell by 1.8 cents. The minimum price now $1.36.2. Diesel decreased by 5.4 cents. The minimum price now $1.81.8 a liter. In Prince Edward Island, no change in the price of gas. It rests at $1.49 a liter. And after the price dropped by 12 cents overnight Tuesday, the price of diesel remains unchanged at $1.88.4. And in New Brunswick, gas decreased by 1.6 cents a liter. The maximum price now $1.39.6. Now to the only increase on the board. Diesel in New Brunswick jumped by 5.6 cents. The maximum price now $1.94 a liter. Finally, if you've been following the Olympics, you know it was not the result everyone wanted, but it was a game for the ages. Yesterday's gold medal women's final between Canada and the U.S. had fans cheering across the Maritimes, but perhaps no louder than in New Glasgow. Two coaches, Troy Ryan and Corey Chevry, and player Blair Turnbull are from nearby Stellarton. The pride was on full display.
We all are so proud of her. To think of the accomplishments, like coming from like a little town here in Stellarton and living her dream. And we all are just so proud to be able to follow her in the journey to where she is now.
Corey Chevry, you know, she's been a resident of New Glasgow forever. We sort of claim her as our own. Troy Ryan lived here, coached our Crusher team for many years. So we feel very connected to them and really proud.
Now, in the end, and we know many of us know this, the Americans beat the Canadians 2-1 in overtime. Now, looking ahead, Team Canada is set to face Finland in the men's Olympic hockey semifinals, and that game's just going to be beginning just before the noon hour.
Is Finland a good team?
Yes.
Yeah?
So, like, basically, when they did the Four Nations last year, there was Finland, Sweden, I think. I think it was Finland, Sweden, America, Canada. So, like, top... anyone with ice, basically. Anyone with ice.
Top tier. Okay.
Is that a good descriptor?
It's a great one.
But speaking of the Olympics, competing for your country is obviously an honor, but I think this contestant did it for the fun of it all. Yes, a surprise four-legged competitor ran across the cross-country ski course in the middle of the race at the Olympics. The husky was cheered on by fans. Cameras captured the dog crossing the finish line, and while it didn't reach the podium, it did appear to have the time of his life.
Brianne, do you know what his name was?
No.
Nazgul.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, can you imagine Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Right? Just in case. Imagine shouting, Nazgul!
Nazgul! Nazgul!
So good. So good. Okay, still ahead, we have your entertainment headlines, but coming up next, it's the Move Morning Chat. And today we want to know, where do you go to get away from it all?
Is it Costco?
Is it Costco, a place where you have a membership? That conversation coming up next.
Happy Friday. The time now is 6:43. We're taking a live look at Bedeck, starting off at -5 degrees. You can see that sun is beginning to rise in the background. We are expecting a chance of some scattered flurries throughout your day, but also going to see some sunny breaks as well. Taking a look at our current temperatures, it is a colder start to the end of the work week. -16 degrees in Fredericton, -8 as you head outdoors in Charlottetown with -7. Early this morning in both Halifax and Sydney, -28 degrees in Labrador City and -3 into St. John's, Newfoundland. A special weather statement now issued across Nova Scotia and parts of Prince Edward Island for Monday evening until noon on Tuesday. Expecting snowfall at around 15 to 25 centimeters of accumulation, wind gusts between 60 to 80. We do have a winter storm warning also in effect for parts of Newfoundland for this afternoon until Saturday. Could see up to 30 centimeters of accumulation. A blowing snow advisory for Saturday, as well as a blowing snow advisory in effect for parts of Labrador. A winter storm warning and a snowfall warning looking at around 10 to 15 centimeters, and also 30 kilometers per hour for those wind gusts. Over to our forecast timeline. So we are going to see sunshine for all three maritime provinces. Still holding on to a bit of flurry activity for parts of the Maritimes. It's looking around a 30 to 60% chance if it does happen. But for parts of Newfoundland, Labrador, we are going to see some flurry activity as well, light snowfall. And that takes us into this afternoon. Much of the same is expected. Daytime highs still remain above seasonal for parts of the maritime region, but temperatures are definitely starting to cool down as we inch towards this weekend. Into tonight, we are going to see a bit of increasing cloudiness. Temperatures really cold tonight. And we do have another low making its way over, bringing light snowfall flurries back around. So if you're wondering about snowfall accumulation, we'll start to see a build into early Saturday morning, looking at around 1 to 10 centimeters for parts of New Brunswick, 1 to 15 for parts of Nova Scotia, around 10 to 15 centimeters of accumulation for parts of Labrador. And then for Newfoundland, 1 to 15 centimeters as well. Here's a look at our forecast today for New Brunswick, looking at lots of sunshine across the province. Daytime highs will range from -8 to 2 degrees, and Pretty light wind expected as well. Prince Edward Island, highs between -6 to -4, mainly sunny skies. Wind out of the northwest at around 20 kilometers per hour. Same thing goes for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia. Lots of sunshine throughout your day today. Daytime highs will range from -3 to +2. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, lots of sunshine. We do have snow arriving into the evening, starting off into the western region of the province. Daytime highs between 2 to 5 degrees. For Labrador City, looking at a chance of flurries throughout your day today, a high of -18. 1 degree into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a mix of sun and cloud. Flurries expected into the evening. Saturday's forecast, temperatures cooling back down. We will be seeing a bit of sunshine in the forecast as well, but also seeing some flurry activity for the Maritimes, light snowfall for parts of Labrador. Newfoundland looking at a bit of heavier snowfall at around 30 centimeters. The highest we're going to see. And then Saturday night, we start to see the system take over all 3 maritime provinces, bringing flurries back around. But into Sunday, that will clear out into the afternoon, leaving sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces, but definitely a cooler day ahead. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat. Welcome back to the Move Morning Chat. This morning, we're asking you, what is your version of Disney World? A place you like to get away from it all. So, Peter, tell us why we're talking about this.
Let me explain, okay? So I was in a very big box store yesterday, a box store that I frequent regularly. Some might say way too much. I am in there sometimes maybe 3 or 4 times a week, and I've been there on at least one occasion 3 times in one day. Crazy, I know. Okay. But while I was there, I ran into somebody who I hadn't seen for a long time, coming in from out of town in this same big box store. I'm going to tell you what it is in just a second. And he said, why? Every time I come, I see you there. And it's just a coincidence, I know, but I couldn't really tell him. Later, I run into him in the same store half an hour later, and I say, you know why? I got it figured out now. Because this store, Costco, is my Disney World. I will go there that many times in a week because there's always something to look at. There's always something different and people watching. Sometimes I go in there just to see if anything has gone on sale that I've already purchased so I can get some money back.
It's true.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So I jokingly said, but kind of mean it as well, that particular store is my Disney World. So that's why we're on the topic this morning.
We all have a version of that, right?
Yep.
Somewhere where we would consider that to be our Disney World. And funny enough, Peter and I both chose places that might stress out a lot of people because my version of Disney World in Halifax is IKEA. I love going to IKEA. I'm there at least once a week. I will always walk through the showroom upstairs, even though I know exactly what it looks like. I like to go once a week and see all the new products. I like to also see what's on sale. And I never get bored. I go there for breakfast and sit in the cafeteria. And then I just go get to look at all the cute home decor. My version of Disney World will always be IKEA.
Well, the next time you go to IKEA, can you pick me up those boxes that you can like put your stuff in that you put into the Malm or whatever? Yeah, great, perfect. So like next week I'll have some of those. Great.
I got you. I
think everyone owns a Malm.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly,
everyone.
My version of IKEA in Halifax has to be Frenchie's. I love thrifting is my favorite thing of life, and Frenchie's is just like above and beyond. And like this dress that I'm currently wearing is from Frenchie's.
Wow.
So I probably go once a week, see what deals I can get. You know, especially being on TV, we need to change our outfits quite often, right? So Frenchie's would probably be my my Disney World here in Halifax.
That's so fair. Thrifting is just so lovely.
Yeah.
Especially you never know what you're going to find. For me, it's actually not a retail store. I would say the beach. That's my Disney World. Yeah, being by water, even if it's like cold, just walking along the beach, just looking at the ocean. That's something that really makes me happy, even when I'm sad, clears my mind. So that's my version of Disney World here.
Amazing. Well, we want to know what your version of Disney World is here, because then maybe we can have a new version of Disney World for all of us. So we are going to ask what version of Disney World is yours, of course, and we're going to get you to text us at 10400 for that. We want to know. Welcome back. It just turned 6:53. Are we going on a trip?
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to head to Hollywood for your entertainment headlines.
We're hearing of the passing of Grey's Anatomy star Eric Dane. The 53-year-old had been battling ALS. He had spoken about his battle with the diagnosis last year in an exclusive interview with ABC's Diane Sawyer.
I'm fighting as much as I can. There's so much about it that's out of my control.
It's been too long, cowboy.
Woody and Buzz are back to take audiences to infinity and beyond in the official trailer for Toy Story 5. In the trailer, Woody reunites with his original toy family and faces off against LilyPad, a high-tech smart tablet voiced by Greta Lee. Toy Story 5 hits theaters June 19th. Disney is the parent company of Pixar and ABC News. The first presenters have been announced for the 98th Oscars. Last year's Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor winners Adrian Brody and Kieran Culkin will return to pass out trophies, as well as last year's Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress winners Mikey Madison and Zoe Saldana. The Oscars, hosted again by Conan O'Brien, airs March 15th on ABC and streams on Hulu. And happy birthday to pop star and beauty mogul Rihanna. She's 38 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
Happy birthday, Rihanna.
I know, she looks great.
Always. Now, going to a funeral can be difficult, but one funeral home in Wilkes-Barre hopes its new employee will help ease the pain.
A 1-year-old English black lab is the newest addition to Niffin O'Malley Funeral Home. We'll meet Chloe.
In a time when many neighbors barely know each other and some avoid one another altogether.
Hi, how are you?
A new community in California is asking future homeowners to agree to something simple and rare: kindness. Welcome to Silverwood, California's newest neighborhood. It's more like a town being built. 15,000 homes, multiple clubhouses, town centers, schools, shops, and restaurants, all going up like a mirage in the desert. But before anyone moves in, there is one requirement.
The rules to move in here, you gotta be kind. Don't be a jerk, right? That is correct. What does that mean? Well, it means that you're going to respect your neighbors. You're going to understand differences of opinion.
John Ohanian is leading the project, and he's the one who came up with the idea to have buyers sign a pledge to be kind before they get the keys. Not a legal contract, a personal one.
How do you feel? How is it? Peaceful.
Clarissa and Tracy Smith, mother and daughter, are among the first to move in, along with Clarissa's 3 children.
It's respect for your neighbor. It is being thoughtful.
That can mean taking in their neighbors' trash cans or having the family next door over for dinner. Both women are widows, and they say they wanted a neighborhood with a true sense of community.
I don't have to wake up and think, oh, I should probably be nice today. And no, I get up with a smile on my face.
All this building going on, 225 homes have already been built here, but this project is going to go for 20 more years, all with the promise of kindness.
When Kathy and Brandon Dill bought their new home at Silverwood, they weren't sure what to think.
I had a little bit of the, what's going on here?
But now with their 9-month-old son and another baby on the way, they're all in on the promise.
We want to be able to raise our child in a kind community where everybody knows everybody and is kind to everybody.
And if somebody does have a bad day, Ohanian says that's okay too.
But you create an aspiration, and if everybody is acting in that manner, I think you're going to get kindness back.
In Silverwood, it's not the houses that make the neighborhood, it's the people and the promise they keep to one another. Alex Stone, ABC News, Hesperia, California.
All right, time now, 6:56 or 57 now. Stick with us. We'll be right back after this. Lots of sunshine in store for Moncton today, but a cold start to the day.
It's Friday, February 20th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, thieves steal a signed McKinnon and Crosby jersey from a Cole Harbour pub. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And listen to your heart. We'll find out more about an event happening later today in the HRM that aims to help people who have undiagnosed heart valve disease. That's coming up.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada. The time now is 7 o'clock. It's February 20th. We made it to Friday.
Wild.
Yeah.
It was touch and go there for a minute.
It was a jam-packed week too. So much sports happening.
Yes.
Kept us in the know.
Yeah.
She brought us treats every day of the week. It's been a great week. Helps you get through.
Some days, you know, February, it's a long month.
Yeah, so what's the treat today?
Oh, just you wait.
Oh my goodness.
That comes at our 8:15 hour. Come on now.
Oh my gosh.
We set things up for success. Are we going to be having a treat with the weather?
Yeah, it's kind of like rinse and repeat, exactly what we've been getting. Bit of flurry activity for parts of the maritime region. Temperatures cooling down, but still remaining above seasonal for some, and sunshine, so
okay.
Can't complain.
Oh, look at that, it's beautiful.
I know, it's beautiful starting off the day. It's -7 over there, and then factor in the wind chill, but temperatures will warm up. So last night, we saw temperatures dip back down, factor in that wind chill, which we'll take a look at in a second, and you're definitely feeling colder air this morning. -16 in Fredericton, -8 degrees in Charlottetown, -7 in both Halifax and Sydney, -3 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at that wind chill. So temperatures will warm up yet again today, but we do have that colder air moving in, so temperatures dipping back down into tonight. But we do have that risk of frostbite over in Labrador City again. A special weather statement in effect now across Nova Scotia, parts of Prince Edward Island. This is for Monday's system that's going to move in. We also have a winter storm warning, a blowing snow advisory for parts of Newfoundland and into Labrador with a snowfall warning. So Newfoundland, Labrador is still dealing with some active weather throughout the day today, but for the most part, the maritime region, just a bit of flurry activity. And if you do see that, that will clear. Sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces today. Pretty light wind, nothing above 26 kilometers per hour right now in Canso and in Grand Etang, 15 in Sydney, with currently no wind gusts to report. We'll take another look at your weekend forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
New Brunswick RCMP have accused a youth of participating in terrorist activities involving the 764 network, an online group recently added to Canada's list of terrorist entities. Mounties say the youth is now subject to a terrorism peace bond, the second imposed on a youth in the province this month. RCMP alleged the youth used online sites to promote the group, which they say uses social media and gaming platforms to spread violent narratives and radicalize people. A popular Halifax art gallery is missing a couple of intricate sketches of birds. The owner of Argyle Fine Arts says somebody walked away with 2 original colored pencil drawings by local artist Dusan Postovic. The birds were framed in a simple black frame, and it's believed they were stolen sometime between Wednesday and Thursday. In a Facebook post, owner Adriana Afford says, quote, "We just want the art back. If you stole it, please return it. No questions asked." And a pair of valuable hockey jerseys have been stolen from a popular Cole Harbour tavern.
They were bracketed from the top and the bottom, like secure brackets around them. These were not hung by a nail. They were secure brackets. So we can only assume that they have been in enough times to continuously loosen them as they go out, because there's no way you would have been able to pull these off the wall.
Signed jerseys from Sidney Crosby and Nathan McKinnon were stolen from Big League's front lobby Wednesday night. The mass robbery was caught on camera. Halifax police say they're investigating, and Big League's hopes the jerseys are safely returned. The maritime population boom has ended, with all provinces losing residents at the end of last year. New Brunswick's fiscal update this week noted the province lost about 1,000 people in the 4th quarter of 2025, the first time the population has fallen since the beginning of 2017. StatsCan says Nova Scotia was down about 1,400 people in the quarter, the first population drop the province has recorded since the end of 2020. PEI's population actually fell in 2 quarters in 2025, including the 4th, when it lost about 150 people. And Newfoundland and Labrador also lost about 200 people in the same period. Now to the latest prices at the pumps. For the most part, you'll be paying the same or less to fill up. In Nova Scotia's Zone 1, gas fell by 1.8 cents. The minimum price now $1.36.2. Diesel decreased by 5.4 cents. The minimum price $1.81.8. In PEI, no change in the price of gas. It rests at $1.49 a liter. And after a drop earlier this week, the price of diesel remains unchanged at $1.88.4. And in New Brunswick, gas decreased by 1.6 cents a liter. The maximum price $1.39.6. And now to the only increase. Diesel in New Brunswick jumped by 5.6 cents. The maximum price now $1.94 a liter. Well, those of us who love them know there's just nothing like a donair. And as CTV's Vanessa Wright shows us, the donair beast is ready for the world to know about the Halifax delicacy.
I love donairs. I eat them all the time. And I think donairs should have a world platform. You got to add some sauce. Lots of sauce. Don't be scared.
He's had about 5,000 donairs in his lifetime and has made it his mission to get even the toughest food critics on the donair train. He wants the world to know about Halifax's iconic dish, starring in his own donair documentary set to be released next year.
What people can expect with this documentary is absolute everything you need to know about a donair. The story, where it came from, who made it, who taught people how to make it. Absolutely delicious, like nothing else you've ever smelled in your life. We need to get this out to the world. I think the whole world should know what a donair is and should taste a donair and make their own donair.
And hopefully love it almost as much as he does. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Dartmouth.
Wow. Passion.
Yeah, aggressive passion.
Yeah, aggressive to say the least.
When back when I was a kid, when my dad would get a donair, which he loved, when he would treat himself to one and would eat it at home, he would, instead of putting like a napkin around him, because he always spills, we always spill, he would put this like giant towel, and then we'd have our old dog Mickey there sitting,
waiting for all of the bits to fall.
Yeah, and then he got to lick the towel. It was kind of gross when you think about it now, but also kind of funny. Yay or nay on donairs? Not so much?
I hate them.
Me too.
Really?
Kyle loves them. He's like, try this. I'm like,
I like a donair. My favorite is honestly just a donair meat and to just dip in the sauce.
I like the donair meat.
I like the donair meat. I don't like the sauce. Yeah.
I was gonna say
No, sweet sauce should not go on. I just,
I don't know.
I don't like
about it.
No, sorry, I know. We're of the minority though.
That's okay.
Yeah. A group of parents in Stratford, PEI, have built the place to be this winter.
You just get to skate around with your friends. It's a fun way to hang out. You could spend time with your friends and family. After school, it's a lot of fun, too, when it gets dark.
Yes, they've turned a patch of land into their neighborhood into their own community rink, and they even have their own Zamboni.
Wow.
The 100 or so kids in the neighborhood love it, of course, and this is their rink's second season, and it's even bigger than last year. Pretty impressive.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Right, and it's been a great winter for it, too.
I know, it really has. That's awesome.
Right?
I love how they're like, I finished school and I just can't wait to get there.
Exactly. ODR.
Yep. You know what's funny? I live near a hockey rink, and that Zamboni goes all night.
Really?
Yeah. All night?
Yeah.
You're like, I know, I hear it.
Yeah. And sometimes I see it, it's just dumping more snow or whatever, the shavings outside, and I'm like, how are you still working?
How many people use this rink?
Hard work, apparently.
Yeah, well, we're thankful for the hard work.
This is true. Okay, still ahead, we'll have a look at your national news headlines, and Latavia has the latest look at the Friday forecast. Well, it's nice and paved there at King Square in Uptown St. John this morning. We'll have more details in the Daily Highs next.
Happy Friday. The time now is 7:12. Taking a live look at Lockport. -12 early this morning. We do have the sun beginning to rise, and the sunshine will be sticking around throughout the day today in your area and many areas across the Maritime region. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. As you can see here, it is a cooler start to the end of the work week. -17 degrees right now in Fredericton, -9 in Charlottetown, -8 degrees early this morning in Sydney, with -7 in Halifax, -14 degrees in Happy Valley Goose Bay, -6 starting off your day in Corner Brook. We do have a special weather statement now in effect across Nova Scotia and the central and eastern region of Prince Edward Island for Monday evening, as we do have a coastal system making its way over, bringing snowfall at around 15 to 25 centimeters. Wind gusts will range from 60 to 80. We also have a winter storm warning in effect for this afternoon until Saturday for the Great Northern Peninsula. Looking at snowfall getting up to 30 centimeters, with a blowing snow advisory as well for tomorrow. Seeing snowfall within that blowing snow at around 15 centimeters, wind gusts between 50 to 70. A blowing snow advisory also in effect for parts of Labrador. A winter storm warning for this morning until Saturday. Looking at snowfall at around 20 to 30 centimeters, wind gusts of 70, and a snowfall warning as well this afternoon until Saturday. Here's a look at the current system tracking across parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. We are going to see a chance of flurries for parts of Labrador, snowfall for parts of Newfoundland into the maritime region, a chance of some flurry activity, but that will clear out if you do see any, leaving sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces. Temperatures will warm up above seasonal for parts of the maritime region, but as we see this colder air continue to move through across the region, temperatures will continue to cool down, especially into the overnight hours tonight. Factor in that wind chill, going to feel a lot colder, taking us into the weekend. We have another system making its way over, bringing some light snowfall and flurries back around for the Maritimes. Newfoundland, Labrador still dealing with that active weather as well. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, getting up to 1 to 10 centimeters of accumulation for parts of New Brunswick, looking at 1 to 15 for parts of Nova Scotia, as well as into parts of Labrador, and for Newfoundland, 1 to 15 centimeters of accumulation as well. Lots of sunshine across New Brunswick today, pretty light wind as well. Daytime highs will range from -7 to 2 degrees. For Prince Edward Island, you're getting lots of sunshine as well, mainly sunny skies today, with highs between -6 to -4. Same thing goes for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia. Daytime highs ranging from -3 to 2 degrees. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, mainly sunny skies throughout your day today. Snow arrives for the western region first into the evening, and daytime highs between 2 to 4. Labrador City, a chance of flurries expected yet again today. -18 degrees is your daytime high. 1 degree into St. John's, Newfoundland, seeing sunshine, and then flurries arrive into the evening. Saturday's forecast, temperatures will cool down for the daytime highs. We are going to see a bit of flurry activity for parts of the maritime region. Newfoundland, Labrador, still seeing that light snowfall as well. And then into Saturday night, we are going to see that pick up. So light snowfall, flurry activity for parts of the region. Into Sunday's forecast, into the afternoon, we start to see a lot of that snowfall clear out, leaving sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces, but temperatures cooling back down. That's a look at weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. U.S. President Donald Trump convened his first Board of Peace meeting Thursday, something Canada and most Western allies are not a part of. The focus was on the rebuilding of Gaza as Trump mulls a decision on whether to strike Iran. Here is CTV's Joy Malbin.
The president calls this his crowning achievement in the newly named Donald J. Trump U.S. Institute of Peace, convening his first Board of Peace. With representatives from 40 nations, $7 billion was pledged towards rebuilding war-torn Gaza, just a fraction of what's needed.
Rafah fully rebuilt.
Showing a video of what Gaza could become, but Hamas still has not disarmed, and Israel continues to bomb them.
What we're doing is very simple, peace. It's called the Board of Peace, and it's all about an easy word to say, but a hard word to produce. Peace.
But the president's talk of peace is being overshadowed as the U.S. readies for possible war with Iran. A massive U.S. war machine is taking shape in the Middle East. Hundreds of jet fighters and warships sent to the region. The president, who promised no more foreign wars, prepared to strike, he says, unless Iran ends its nuclear ambitions.
They cannot continue to threaten the stability of the entire region, and they must make a deal. It doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but bad things will happen.
In June, Trump said Operation Hammer obliterated Iran's nuclear abilities, but has hinted at regime change. And after Iran's deadly crackdown on protesters, the president promised help was on the way. Iran responding, showing military drills on state TV, warning any U.S. attack would trigger retaliation like never before. The president says he's giving negotiations in Geneva a chance, but set a timeline of just days for Iran to make a deal.
CTV's Joy Malbin reporting in Washington. And we have some sad news out of Hollywood. Eric Dane, star actor in the series Grey's Anatomy, has died. Dane had been quietly battling ALS, a devastating neurological disease. Eric Dane was 53 years old. Dane was diagnosed with ALS last year. He spent the last few months raising awareness. Dane leaves behind wife and fellow actor Rebecca Gayhart and 2 children. An elaborate takedown caught on camera. Undercover Thai police disguised as a dance crew in costume at a Lunar New Year celebration. This video shows the officers emerging from the traditional lion costume, pinning the suspect to the ground and making the arrest. The alleged thief is accused of stealing nearly $90,000 worth of Buddhist artifacts in a home burglary. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, details on protecting your heart. That's coming up next.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. Not only is February Heart Health Month, but this weekend also marks Heart Valve Disease Awareness Day, which means it's the perfect time for a free public event happening later today at Micmac Mall in Dartmouth. So between 10 and 2 today, trained healthcare professionals will provide free stethoscope checks for adults who do not have pre-existing heart conditions. A similar event was held last fall. They listened to more than 200 hearts, detected 11 murmurs, and performed 5 echocardiograms. So a very important cause, and so this year we do have Dr. Osama El-Kabait joining us. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so what first and foremost is heart valve disease?
So heart valve disease is a problem with the valves of the heart. There's 4 valves in the heart, and any of them can cause a problem, most of the time due to aging, but also happens sometimes at birth. Any problems with these valves can lead to a serious heart problems.
Is it the same as a blockage?
It's can be a blockage or can be a leakage in the valves. Slightly different from the blockage that we hear, which is about the coronary blockages. This is more of the valves inside the hearts that is causing problems and if become undetected, can lead to a serious heart problems.
And how prevalent is heart valve disease?
As you get older, it's becoming more prevalent, as the heart is working every second of your life, and as with anything, wear and tear happens on the valves and can lead to blockages or leakages that can lead to a serious heart problems.
Okay, so talk to us a little bit about the event today and why it's important to have it.
Yeah, so today's event is about raising awareness about heart health, specifically heart valve disease. Many heart conditions can be silent, and if becomes undetected, it can lead to serious problems. And awareness is the first step toward prevention. And taking care of your heart can lead to improvement in your health, and taking care of things that can lead to prevention of a serious heart problems.
Why is it so important to have an event like this in the community, accessible to people just walking in and about the mall today and coming off the street after watching this video?
Yes, so it's the most important thing is, as I said, really these heart conditions are silent, and we need people to be aware of this condition, and so they can seek the appropriate help, talk to their primary care, and sometimes a simple test like listening to your heart can lead to more investigations and more tests that can prevent serious heart problems.
Do we have an example of that? Has something like that happened?
Yeah, so so in the last event, for example, we, as I said, as you've heard, we detected 11 murmurs, and one of the patients was aware of that thing, so they sought further help, and they had an echocardiogram, and it showed that they have a serious heart problem. They are under surveillance and being followed up by their doctors now.
And so important to take care of your heart, of course. And I know that this event is open to all adults, but who's the main target demographic? Yeah, so
as I said, as you get older, it's more, so about 65 and above is probably the most appropriate, but everybody is welcome, and we can listen to the heart. And again, this is the most important thing, is we are raising awareness about heart health and heart valve disease.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for all that you do. And again, we have posted a link to the event on our website. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, we'll head over to Latavia for a quick look at our 3-day forecast.
Thanks, Brianne. Starting off in New Brunswick, a high of -2 degrees today. Lots of sunshine across the province. Same thing for Saturday. Cooling down, -1. -1 continues into the forecast for the daytime high on Sunday. Sunshine yet again. For Nova Scotia, mainly sunny skies today with a high of 2 degrees. Evening flurries. On Saturday, cools down to -2. We see flurries in the forecast throughout the day. And then on Sunday, -2 with a mix of sun and cloud. Prince Edward Island, -5 degrees today. Sunny skies, increasing cloudiness into the afternoon. On Saturday, looking at a high of 0 with snow across the island. On Sunday, sunshine returns, a high of -3.
Coming up this half hour, what should you do if you get injured in a slip and fall? It is slippery in many places out there, and that can lead to injuries. We'll get some advice in the Legal Insider. That's ahead in 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada. It is 7:30, 8 o'clock if you're in Newfoundland or parts of Labrador, and you made it. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
As the great Rebecca Black said, you got to get down.
On Friday.
On Friday.
Ew.
That's the great Rebecca.
She's talking about dancing.
No, not you as what you said. You as in
Rebecca Black?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I guess you could have gone Katy Perry and then...
That's true.
G-I-F.
It has become popular, though.
Yeah. On Friday.
Back in the day, Glee did a great version, a cover of it.
That they did.
And they had her on it, too.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
they pull her in? And then for Katy Perry's TGIF music video, she had Rebecca Black.
She did.
In the video.
I'm dying.
Yeah.
Isn't that too funny? No, we did make it. I wonder what a lot of people are going to be doing during the noon hour with the men's semi-hockey game happening.
Yes.
If they're like, I'm just taking an extra long lunch break.
100%.
Today.
Yeah.
Even this weekend, we have the AUS Championship taking place.
Yes.
So many events.
Yes.
I was looking for events yesterday. I was like, what do I pick? There's so much going on.
So many options. You have so many options. Hopefully you can take a nice lunch break and watch some hockey indoors probably because
yeah, it's still gonna be cold.
Yeah.
Unless you like that kind of thing.
Right?
Watch it outdoors. But yeah.
I feel like you're there with the players.
Exactly.
Fresh air.
So here's a look at Halls Harbor early this morning. It is -8 degrees starting off your day. So a bit cooler, especially when you factor in that wind chill. Temperatures will rise a little bit later on, probably the last above seasonal for daytime highs today for the Maritimes before dipping back down into the weekend. -17 degrees though in Fredericton early this morning, -9 in Charlottetown, -7 in Halifax, -8 degrees early this morning in Sydney, and -14 over in Happy Valley Goose Bay, -4 in St. Anthony. Here's a look at that wind chill starting off the day. Temperatures will rise a little bit later on, but we're going to start to see that colder air continue to move through the region, helping to cool things down, especially into the weekend. But today, though, we do have that risk of frostbite over in Labrador City. A special weather statement now in effect. We have a coastal system headed our way on Monday evening until noon on Tuesday. Same thing goes for parts of Prince Edward Island. A winter storm warning also in effect for parts of Newfoundland and a blowing snow advisory. Same thing for parts of Labrador with a snowfall warning as well. In terms of our satellite and radar today, still dealing with active weather for Newfoundland and Labrador. The Maritimes could see a chance of flurries. Other than that, clearing out, leaving sunshine for all 3 provinces. And then for the wind, it's going to remain quite light today. 26 kilometers per hour in Grand Tang, 28 in Canso, and 13 in North Cape. No wind gusts to report. We'll take another look at your weekend forecast ahead, but now we're going to take a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. New Brunswick RCMP have accused a youth of participating in terrorist activities involving the 764 network, an online group recently added to Canada's list of terrorist entities. Bounties say the youth is now subject to a terrorism peace bond, the second imposed on a youth in the province this month. RCMP alleged the youth used online sites to promote the group, which they say uses social media and gaming platforms to spread violent narratives and radicalize people. In Nova Scotia, job cuts started yesterday and are expected to impact a number of departments before next week's budget. About 80 positions across a number of departments have been eliminated, according to a provincial employee who asked CTV News not to identify them. It's expected the upcoming budget will reduce the size of the civil service by 5%, while Crown corporations will shrink by 3%. Another 175 employees are being redeployed. The NSGEU confirmed the layoffs, noting the province will be less welcoming because many of the job losses impact those working in tourism.
I know some of these folks, and they are good, hardworking Nova Scotians, great ambassadors to this province. My heart goes out to them because this is devastating news, no question.
Sandra Mullen says the layoffs will see the closure of visitor information centers, including the busy one at Peggy's Cove. And a handful of schools in New Brunswick are on edge about the future. To save money, the cash-strapped provincial government is considering closing schools with fewer than 100 students. Here's CTV's Laura Brown.
Riverside Consolidated School, with its plumbing and ventilation systems, was considered one of the finest schools in the country when it opened in 1905, according to the Albert County Museum.
It's not a facility, I guess I wouldn't describe it as. It's a home.
It remains a place of pride for its 50 students and the community that have created a petition to make it clear it should not close. Carly Lyman is mom to 2 of those students.
I would like to think that it would not happen, but 11 years ago we fought to keep this school open, and they really had to rally and fight, and I believe representatives from the district came and were bused from Elma all the way to Hillsborough to see what it would be like.
The province is trying to find places to save money in order to combat its $1.3 billion deficit. One option is to close schools with fewer than 100 students.
Right now, we are not in favor of closing any of our schools. Having consulted with the minister, it's clear that this is an exercise where they're looking at everything around the province. So it's not an exercise where everybody should be panicked right away. There will be a time for panic if and when we get there. We are nowhere near that point.
The process to close a school takes time, too. But the finance minister said earlier this week, other than raising taxes, everything is on the table.
Laura Brown, CTV News.
Now to the latest prices at the pumps this Friday morning. For the most part, you'll be paying the same or less to fill up. In Nova Scotia, Zone 1 gas fell by 1.8 cents. The minimum price now $1.36.2. Diesel decreased by 5.4 cents. The minimum price $1.81.8. In PEI, no change in the price of gas. It rests at $1.49 a litre. And after the price drop of 12 cents overnight Tuesday, the price of diesel remains unchanged at $1.88.4. And in New Brunswick, gas decreased by 1.6 cents a litre. The maximum price now $1.39.6. And here's the only increase on the board. Diesel is up in New Brunswick. It jumped by 5.6 cents overnight. The maximum price now $1.94 a litre. Finally, if you're tired of the season, there are more direct options to warmer weather destinations to tell you about. Air Transat has announced new direct flights to Mexico from a pair of maritime airports. Those include new weekly flights direct from Fredericton and Charlottetown straight to Cancun. The first flights left Wednesday, and they will run until April 22nd. The airline also announced other routes as it pivots away from American cities.
Okay, so should we test this out? Should we test the theory?
I mean,
surprised they didn't call me.
Right, to go down.
We're gonna go live on location, I think.
Yeah, in Cancun. Can you imagine? Well, that makes sense too to have those direct flights from Fredericton and Charlottetown, because quite often you hear maritimers who live in those cities, when they're going down south, they got to drive to Halifax, Stanfield.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it can also depend on the price as well.
I know.
Yeah, so sometimes it's just cheaper just to drive to Stanfield, park your car there, then take a flight. But now if you've got these direct flights straight from Charlottetown, straight from Fredericton, hello.
Makes your life easier,
It does. Fun fact, it was cheaper when I lived in Saskatchewan for me to drive 6 hours to Winnipeg, park in Winnipeg, leave my car there, fly to Toronto, fly back, and drive back than it was to fly from Regina. And I lived here, and the airport was here. Like, I could walk to the airport.
Wow.
Wow, and it was that much cheaper.
Yep.
Even gas.
Yep, all of it, like the entire package. Anywho, a year ago, a community group in Sudbury, Ontario, made moves to save their local ski hill in Lively. This year, it seems their efforts were worth it.
I think it's a little bit easier for my little brother because he's just starting to ski. I find it's really fun, and I want to do it again.
Yeah?
I want to do it again, too.
I I'd say it was worth it. More than 160 skiers hit the slopes on Family Day in Ontario. A year ago, the city had looked at closing it due to low numbers of people coming out, but a volunteer committee worked to help increase the usage and made it more affordable with less user fees. So super fun.
Oh, that's incredible.
I know, right? I love skiing.
Coming together.
Yeah, it looks like fun.
Yeah.
That. A good time. And honestly nice because in Ontario, it's so spread out, right? So to get to a ski hill or whatnot, it's sometimes like a little bit of a mission.
Yeah.
Right? So it's nice to have one like locally, right?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. We're debating, do we go to Wentworth tomorrow?
Maybe hit the
Trying to figure it out.
fun.
Yeah, try and do it with all the other commitments before the spring gets here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Good weekend weather?
Yeah, it's cold, but sunny.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for some, the ski hill is their place to be. Like, that is their Disney World. They love the winter season. That's their place to go. So we're actually asking that for the Move Morning Chat. What's your local version of Disney World? The place you go to get away from it all. Maybe it's Ski Benyon, Poli, Crab,
Cancun.
Or Cancun. Maybe that is a way to get away from it all. Maybe it's a store, too.
Quite possibly.
Quite possibly. 10-400 is the number. Send us a text. We would love to hear from you and share your answers later in the show.
Yeah.
And we've reached the halfway point of the Friday show. Lots more to come. Latavia has another look at the full forecast. Plus, if you've taken a tumble this winter, you're not alone. Those slick conditions can lead to falls, which then can result in injuries. We'll get some advice from the Mike Murphy Law Group on what to do if you're off work for weeks. That's coming up.
Beautiful sunshine starting off your day over in Summerside. Welcome back. The time now is 7:44. Currently minus 12 degrees in your area, so it is cold outside. Right across the board, temperatures will rise a little bit later on. As of right now, minus 17 degrees in Fredericton, minus 9 in Charlottetown, minus 7 degrees in Halifax, minus 8 early this morning in Sydney, minus 7 degrees in Cartwright, minus 4 in Gander. A special weather statement now issued across Nova Scotia and for the central and eastern region on Prince Edward Island. This is for Monday evening until noon on Tuesday. We're expecting snowfall at around 15 to 25 centimeters, wind gusts between 60 to 80. We do have a winter storm warning also in effect for this afternoon until Saturday for the Great Northern Peninsula, looking at around 15 to 30 centimeters. And also a blowing snow advisory for this weekend on Saturday. Around 15 centimeters expected within that blowing snow. Wind gusts could get up to 70. A blowing snow advisory also in effect for parts of Labrador. Winter storm warning for this morning until Saturday. Could see up to 30 centimeters of accumulation. Wind gusts of 70 and a snowfall warning as well. So here's a look at our current system tracking across parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Light snowfall expected early in the morning. For the Maritime region, could see a chance of some flurry activity clearing, leaving sunshine for all 3 Maritime provinces. Into the afternoon, temperatures will warm up, still remaining above seasonal for your daytime highs for parts of the Maritime region. But we start to see this colder air move back in across the region, and that's helping to really cool things down, especially into the overnight hours. We have another low pressure system headed our way. It's going to bring some light snowfall back around for parts of the Maritime region into early Saturday morning, where we do have some active weather in the forecast yet again. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, look at around 1 to 10 centimeters of accumulation for the southern region of New Brunswick, 1 to 15 across parts of Nova Scotia, 10 to 15 for parts of Labrador, and for Newfoundland, looking at around 1 to 15 centimeters of accumulation. Lots of sunshine for the forecast today across New Brunswick. Light wind expected as well. Daytime highs between minus 7 to 2 degrees. Prince Edward Island also going to see lots of sunshine throughout your day. Highs between minus 6 to minus 4. Wind out of the northwest, 20 kilometers per hour. Same thing goes for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, with highs ranging from minus 3 to 2 degrees. For the rest of Nova Scotia, lots of sunshine in the forecast for you as well. Highs will range from 2 to 4 degrees, and snow arrives into the western region of the province into the evening. Labrador City, a chance of flurries throughout your day, a high of minus 18 degrees. 1 degree into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at sunshine, flurries into the evening. Saturday's forecast, temperatures start to cool down yet again into our daytime highs for the Maritime region. Newfoundland and Labrador also going to see that active weather into Saturday night. We are going to see that increase across all 3 Maritime provinces. Newfoundland, Labrador still holding on to light snowfall. Taking us into Sunday's forecast, we're going to start to see that system clear out, leaving sunshine for all 3 Maritime provinces. But it's going to remain cold, Brianne.
Thanks for that, Latavia. It's time for our Legal Insider segment with our partners at the Mike Murphy Law Group. And this time we're talking slips and falls. And here to answer those questions for us is Aiden Murphy, a managing partner. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for getting up bright and early for us. All right, so we've got plenty of snow, of course, this winter, which means melts turn into ice. So let's say someone slipped and fell and broke their ribs. They're off for 4 weeks without pay. What can they do?
So I guess the usually typical lawyer answer is it depends. I can narrow it down a little more. Mostly in those cases where it's slip and fall in winter, it depends on where it happened and how it happened. And the how question is really specifically in Atlantic Canada, and I think I spoke with Crystal about this last time, the big takeaway from court decisions is that people should expect snow and slippery conditions. And it's a question of, did the person, if it's another property owner that whose property you're on, or a city sidewalk, for example, did they know that the conditions were bad? Should they known that the conditions were bad? And did they have a kind of what we call a system of maintenance and inspection in place to prevent what actually happened? And usually that can be determinative of the issue.
Right. If it's a business or a city sidewalk, unshoveled, that type of thing, what happens?
Yeah. For a property owner, if you're on someone else's property and if it's not shoveled, it's been several weeks, it's near a storefront, for example, that is a much easier case to make out than a city sidewalk. The reason why is that even though normally the legal principles should be the same, cities are usually pretty influential when provincial governments are drafting laws, and there are special protections in place for cities. And the standard normally, and it depends on where you are, is one of what they call gross negligence. So it's not just you should have known that these conditions were present and you should have a system in place, but also it has the extra step of being much more fault-based than what a property owner might be exposed to.
Right, of course. Okay, what about how often you're seeing these slip and fall cases?
Quite often. I mean, Atlantic Canada in the winter is not immune, to say the least, from these kinds of conditions, and we get calls constantly. We'll get calls from people that slip in their own driveways. So, I mean, the question of whether or not there's liability there, that's always very live on a slip and fall. And the real question, again, is where did it happen and how did it happen?
Yeah.
And in many cases, there's just very clear liability. In others, it's much more difficult. And so it's best, if you're in that position, to speak to a lawyer, get a brief consultation before you decide what your next steps are.
Right, of course. Okay, we'll pivot to driving here.
Sure.
If you're driving and you don't have winter tires and you get into an accident, what about that type of situation?
So that happens a lot.
Okay.
Where someone will be at a red light, for example, and they'll get rear-ended by someone. They happen not to have winter tires on. In that kind of case, it shouldn't really make a difference that you don't have winter tires on if you were rear-ended and it had nothing to do with what took place. If it's not a rear-end collision and there's more of an open question of whether you should have been able to brake on time, for example, and the fact that you didn't have winter tires, and you should have winter tires, has something to do with it, then the defense might say, well, our guy's at fault, but you have some liability that you have to wear on your end, and it can reduce what you're entitled to. But that's always, again, an open question in the winter in Atlantic Canada.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, ever-changing conditions out there as well, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Aiden. We'll leave
Thank
it
you.
at that. Of
Yes,
course, we'll, that was our partners from Mike Murphy Law Group, and we've put the link to their website on ours. Now, a reminder that the information provided in this segment is of the general nature and is provided for information purposes only. It does not constitute professional legal advice. Please contact a lawyer before making any legal decisions.
This edition of Legal Insiders, brought to you by the Mike Murphy Law Group.
Health and medical news now. Pneumonia hospitalizations rose dramatically in this country last year. Here is CTV's Stephanie Seacos with your health.
The Canadian Institute for Health Information says pneumonia hospitalizations rose by almost 1/3 across Canada last year. The data released Thursday shows kids between 5 and 17 years old were especially hard hit, with pneumonia hospitalizations more than doubling over the previous year. Officials say last year's very bad flu season was likely a major driver of the pneumonia surge, as viral pneumonia can be a serious complication of the flu. Artificial intelligence in healthcare could provide productivity improvements, but only if healthcare systems are redesigned with AI at their core. That's according to a new study from the right-leaning Fraser Institute. The study shows how AI is already being used effectively in many healthcare processes. For instance, AI scribe tools are used to save clinicians time typing up information. However, the Fraser study notes that substantial change in productivity gains will only happen when the entire healthcare value chain, not just specific individual activities, is redesigned. It's one of the leading causes of job-related disability in the U.S. Up to 80% of people will experience lower back pain at some point in their lives. But experts say there are things you can do now to help prevent the issue in the future, including a healthy diet and exercise. Experts say having a strong core is especially important since those muscles support the spine. The Cleveland Clinic says diabetes and hypertension can increase inflammation in the body and can eventually lead to spine, joint, and muscle problems.
And now we'd like to introduce you to the Maritimers who are marking milestones today. It is a 101st birthday for Rose Hanratty of Halifax. Happy birthday.
Oh my gosh, looking fantastic. It's also an 102nd birthday for Newton Menard of Annapolis Royal, Nova Scotia. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, we hope you have a fabulous day. And of course, to see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder that milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
Here's a look at our weekend forecast starting off in New Brunswick. A high of -2 degrees today. Lots of sunshine across the province. Saturday, -1. Sunshine continues in the forecast. And on Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of -1 yet again. For Nova Scotia, 2 degrees today. Lots of sunshine. We have flurries arriving into the evening. On Saturday, snow and some light flurries expected with a high of -2. Yet again, -2 degrees on Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud. Prince Edward Island, -5 degrees today. Lots of sunshine, increasing cloudiness into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. 0 on Saturday with snow across the island. And then on Sunday, sunshine returns, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of -3. Time now, 7:55. We'll be right back right after this.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's Friday, February 20th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, thieves steal a signed McKinnon and Crosby jersey from a Cole Harbour pub. Your top news headlines on this Friday just ahead.
And what are the 2026 baking trends? Well, we'll chat with a local baker about what her customers want more of these days. That's a little later in the show. Those coming up on Your Morning Atlantic.
Oh, I hope you'll stay with us because Ivy from Bake Theory is back. She was here earlier this year, might have been, I think it was early January or late December.
Wow,
she was
already,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, with these very fresh, small donuts. Ooh. They are incredible. She works out of the brewery market downtown Halifax. What is it?
I was just going, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are.
Chef's kiss,
I want to eat them all. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Well, yeah, good news. She's there at the brewery market.
Amazing.
Every weekend.
Here we go.
So, in fact, my mom was watching from Ontario. My parents came to visit, and she said, we have to see Ivy. I want to taste these donuts. So, yeah, we went, and we got a bunch, and I'm so happy she's back. She's great.
Nothing like a little donut, too.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just
little
like perfect,
treats.
and then you don't feel so bad, except for when you eat 10. But, like,
yep.
You can justify it, you know?
They're fresh. She uses fresh ingredients, like really good stuff.
They have to be better for you, right?
They are.
Yeah.
100%.
The calorie, 100%. Calories don't count. Not on Fridays, anyway.
I was going to eat that whole Lindor bar yesterday. So. She brought Dubai chocolate in yesterday. And I'm like, yay. She's like, you have to share. I'm like, no.
Oh,
it was a big bar, though.
It was a big bar.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. What a beautiful, picturesque morning in Parsboro.
I know. It is a bit cool, minus 12 this morning, but sunshine already starting off your day, and we'll be sticking around for many areas across the Maritime region, seeing lots of sunshine, not really helping to warm things up early in the morning, though. As of right now, it is minus 17 degrees in Fredericton, minus 9 in Charlottetown, minus 8 early this morning in Sydney, minus 7 in Halifax, as well as into Cartwright, minus 4 over in Gander and St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at that wind chill early this morning, starting to see that colder air move back in across the region. A risk of frostbite still remains for parts, well, for Labrador City, I should say. A special weather statement in effect right across Nova Scotia, as well as for parts of Prince Edward Island. From that coastal storm heading our way, we are expecting snowfall and some stronger wind gusts. A winter storm warning also in effect for parts of Labrador for this afternoon until Saturday, a blowing snow advisory into the weekend. Same thing goes for parts of Labrador, and a snowfall warning as well. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. We are dealing with active weather for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador today. Into the Maritime region, a low chance of some flurry activity early in the morning, clearing, leaving sunshine for all 3 Maritime provinces, and pretty light wind across the Maritimes as well. As of right now, 28 kilometers per hour in Canso, 26 in Grand Etang, 11 in Sydney. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
New Brunswick RCMP have accused a youth of participating in terrorist activities involving the 764 network, an online group recently added to Canada's list of terrorist entities. Mounties say the youth is now subject to a terrorism peace bond, the second imposed on a youth in the province this month. RCMP alleged the youth used online sites to promote the group, which they say uses social media and gaming platforms to spread violent narratives and radicalize people. A popular Halifax art gallery is missing a couple of intricate sketches of birds. The owner of Argyle Fine Arts says somebody walked away with 2 original colored pencil drawings by local artist Dusan Postovic. The birds were framed in simple black frames, and it's believed they were stolen sometime between Wednesday and Thursday. In a Facebook post, owner Adriana Afford says, quote, "We just want the art back. If you stole it, please return it. No questions asked." A pair of valuable hockey jerseys have been stolen from big leagues in Cole Harbour. The heist took place at night, but security cameras were watching. CTV's Callum Smith has more.
At their hometown rink, Sidney Crosby and Nathan McKinnon memorabilia cover the walls, a sign of where it all began. Cole Harbour, home of 2 of the NHL's best and top players for Team Canada at the Olympics. But as this Halifax brewpub hopes Canada punches a ticket to Sunday's gold medal game, they're just hoping their local stars' signed jerseys are returned.
Jersey number 1, and this is where jersey number 2 was.
Both stolen Wednesday night just before closing.
I got a phone call shortly after 8:30. My staff member was bawling. She said, "We just got robbed." She said a gentleman came in wearing a mask and took the jerseys out of the front lobby.
Surveillance video shows a vehicle pull into the empty parking lot, back up to the front door as someone gets out and walks in. At the top of this camera angle, you can see someone take the McKinnon jersey and load it into the vehicle before coming back in and taking the Crosby jersey, all happening in about 30 seconds. It was only then a staff member saw and ran to the front doors, but the vehicle fled.
It's really disheartening. It was kind of our prized possessions here.
Langley says her staff are physically okay, but shaken from the masked robbery.
They were bracketed from the top and the bottom, like secure brackets around them. These were not hung by a nail. They were secure brackets. So we can only assume that they have been in enough times to continuously loosen them as they go out, because there's no way you would have been able to pull these off the wall.
The jersey's worth about $4,000, but she expects that total to climb if Canada wins.
We hung them there to show our pride, our loyalty, and our community, how we feel about them.
Halifax police are investigating but didn't have any new details today. Langley hopes the jerseys are safely returned and Canada brings home gold. Callum Smith, CTV News, Halifax.
The maritime population boom has ended, with all provinces losing residents at the end of last year. New Brunswick's fiscal update this week noted the province lost about 1,000 people in the fourth quarter of 2025. The first time the population has fallen since the beginning of 2017. StatsCan says Nova Scotia was down about 1,400 people in the quarter, the first population drop the province has recorded since the end of 2020. PEI's population actually fell in 2 quarters in 2025, including the fourth when it lost about 150 people. And Newfoundland and Labrador also lost about 200 people in the same period. Now to the latest prices at the pumps. For the most part, you'll be paying the same or less to fill up. In Nova Scotia Zone 1, gas fell by 1.8 cents. The minimum price now $1.36.2 a litre. Diesel decreased by 5.4 cents. The minimum price now $1.81.8. In PEI, no change in the price of gas. It rests at $1.49 a litre. And after the price dropped overnight Tuesday by 12 cents, the price of diesel remains unchanged at $1.88.4. And in New Brunswick, gas decreased by 1.6 cents a litre. The maximum price now $1.39.6. And now to the only increase on the board. Diesel in New Brunswick jumped by 5.6 cents. The maximum price now $1.94 a litre. Finally, Loblaw and Google are partnering to let customers use AI tools like Gemini to help them with their grocery shopping. Shoppers will be able to use AI to research, compare, and when they're buying products. Loblaw's chief digital officer says it's a natural evolution to the way customers want to shop. Last week, Loblaw announced it'd be integrating the PC Express grocery delivery app into OpenAI's chatbot, ChatGPT, which allows people to brainstorm meal ideas, create ingredient lists, and buy suggested items. AI everywhere.
Apparently, yeah.
Evidently.
I still like writing out my grocery list.
Me too. Yeah. And I don't use AI. Like, I know people are like, oh, well, like you could use AI for that, and I just don't.
I've never used it.
Yeah. It can be a tool. I've used it. Yeah, but
and it's definitely helpful in a lot of ways and in a lot of capacities.
Of course.
I don't know.
I just still like taking a pen to paper. I like checking things off. It's so satisfying when I'm like, I did that, I did that.
Also, technology hates me, so I feel like me and AI just wouldn't get along.
Oh, gosh.
But this is going to go back a ways before we had technology. In 1703, we saw the first appearance of the word muffin in print. Did you know that?
Absolutely not. I did not know that.
Fun fact. Today is National Muffin Day for those who celebrate.
Is there another one under there?
1820, Muffin Man Rhyme was first published also. And I thought this was a fun way to talk about muffins. They're just hiding everywhere.
That wouldn't last in my household.
No.
What?
See the dog?
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
That's like your dog.
Oh my goodness. You are hilarious.
That's hilarious.
In 2015 was the first National Muffin Day. So today we are celebrating Muffin Day. Of course,
smells so good.
So you brought the giant muffins. They're the Kirkland muffins.
They're the good ones. Yum.
Did you see Peter there?
I didn't. I was looking for him because I was like, maybe Peter will be here. Maybe I should have just sent Peter instead, and it could have
he probably would have been there.
A little field trip, but I've brought something every other day, so it's National Muffin Day.
So now we got muffins to go with it. Thank you so much.
Who doesn't like a muffin with breakfast?
For real.
We also have a great contest.
Butter and buttermilk.
I know, those ones looked great. We do have a great contest to tell you about. We have partnered with our friends at Kent Building Supplies, and we want you to enter the Kent Big Bucket giveaway. So once a month, we'll reveal a different prize in the bucket and give you a chance to win it. This month, the winner will receive a Made for Supply workshop prize, and to enter, head to ctvatlantic.ca. The contest closes this Saturday, and we'll announce the winner on February 27th. Good luck. We do have video of what you can win on our website as well.
That's why you need such a big bucket, because it's a big prize.
It is a big prize. It's a big bucket prize.
Yeah. All right, still have this Friday. Lots more to come. Another look at the Friday forecast. I'll have your national news headlines. We're also going to be talking about more baked goods a little bit later as well. So quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. We will be right back after this. This is one of Latavia's favorite places to go. The beach. That's part of our Move Morning Chat, too. Still time to text us.
Good Good morning and welcome back. The time now is 8:13. We're taking a live look at Somerville, starting off at -5 degrees and lots of sunshine throughout your day today, as you can see from our live eye. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. A bit of a cold start to the day. Temperatures will rise a little bit into the afternoon for our daytime highs. As of right now, though, it is -16 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton, -9 in Charlottetown, -7 in Halifax, -6 in Sydney, -7 degrees in Cartwright, and -5 in Corner Brook. A special weather statement now issued across Nova Scotia and for the central and eastern region of Prince Edward Island. This is for Monday evening until around noon on Tuesday, as we expect a coastal storm to head our way, bringing snowfall at around 15 to 25 centimeters. Wind gusts could get up to 80 kilometers per hour. A winter storm warning also in effect for parts of Newfoundland, with a blowing snow advisory as well. And for parts of Labrador, blowing snow advisory, winter storm warning, and a snowfall warning. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. Still dealing with active weather right across Labrador, parts of Newfoundland. For the Maritime region, could see a bit of flurry activity, a chance of some flurries, but that will clear if you do see them, leaving sunshine for all 3 Maritime provinces. Temperatures will be warming up into the afternoon, still remaining above seasonal for parts of the Maritime region, but into tonight, colder air returns yet again, cooling things down, especially when you factor in that wind chill. And we have another low pressure system headed our way, bringing some light snowfall back around. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, going to get up to around 1 to 5 centimeters of accumulation for parts of New Brunswick, 1 to 15 being the heaviest into the western region of Nova Scotia, and looking at 10 to 15 centimeters for parts of Labrador, and 1 to 15 for parts of Newfoundland. Lots of sunshine across New Brunswick for today. Daytime highs will range from -7 to 2 degrees, and pretty light wind expected as well. Prince Edward Island, mainly sunny skies, highs between -6 to -4. Same thing goes for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, mainly sunny skies expected today. Highs between -3 to 2 degrees. For the rest of Nova Scotia, lots of sunshine as well. We do have evening snow starting off into the western region. As I mentioned, that's going to be the heaviest of it, and daytime highs will range from 2 to 4 degrees. Labrador City looking at a chance of flurries throughout your day, a high of -18 degrees. 0 into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a mix of sun and cloud, flurries into the evening. Saturday's forecast still holding on to some flurry activity for parts of the Maritime region. Newfoundland, Labrador still seeing snowfall into Saturday night. This increases for all 3 Maritime provinces. Temperatures continue to cool down into Sunday's forecast. We start off the day early in the morning with flurries. That will start to clear out into the afternoon, leaving sunshine for all 3 Maritime provinces, but a much colder day ahead. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was released last night, 11 hours after he was arrested. Neither charged nor cleared, but police say remains under investigation. The last time a senior British royal was arrested was almost 400 years ago. CTV's Abigail Beeman has the latest.
The former prince seen leaving a police station after a day in custody, with police also at Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's home.
It truly is a seismic moment for this country, and I think for the monarchy as well.
He's still eighth in line to the throne.
Arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, police looking into allegations raised in the Epstein files that Mountbatten Windsor passed on documents to the late sex offender during his time as a trade envoy. Mountbatten Windsor has always denied any wrongdoing.
Whether those details that were passed on by Andrew to Epstein were all part of his job and part of his responsibilities, well, that's an open question. However, the official guidance for trade envoys was that they have a duty of confidentiality.
Mountbatten Windsor spent a decade as trade envoy. He made about a dozen visits to Canada in that period.
So what's your reaction to your brother's arrest?
King Charles wasn't answering questions about his little brother, but released a statement saying he learned the news with the deepest concern and the law must take its course.
I think it's a shame. I think it's very sad. I think it's so bad for the royal family.
It's really sad that, the United States stands for justice, and it's really lacking right now.
Growing calls for action on the Epstein files in the United States, including the family of Virginia Giuffre. She died by suicide in May, and in 2022 settled a lawsuit accusing the former Prince Andrew of sexually abusing her as a teenager.
We're hopeful. I think we're very hopeful that this is the start of the domino effect. This is where the house of cards starts falling.
There's no information yet about any possible charges. In the most extreme cases, misconduct in public office carries a life sentence, though unlikely here.
CTV's Abigail Beeman reporting in Ottawa. New concerns that the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement could be in jeopardy. CTV's Mike Couture has more on the signals from Washington and the reaction in Ottawa.
It's about time that we are less reliant and more resilient.
Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne believes Canadians understand the reality of the situation. While President Donald Trump continues to say he could walk away from CUSMA, the New York Times is reporting 2 Canadian officials involved in trade discussions say expectations for a full renewal of the deal are very low. Still, the minister isn't ready to give up hope yet.
So we'll continue to make the point and keep telling them that we're ready at the table whenever the parties want to review CUSMA.
Now, it comes as the minister overseeing trade with the U.S. just wrapped up a trade mission to Mexico.
There's no division as between the interest of Mexico and Canada in committing ourselves to the trilateral trade agreement.
Canada has ripped us off for years. Not anymore, they're not.
This trade expert believes threats from the White House are part of the negotiation, but Canada needs to continue making a case for CUSMA.
To members of Congress, to state governments, to U.S. business, to underscore how important this agreement is to the United States.
Now, there is a sense of urgency to end the trade war with the U.S. According to Statistics Canada, this country's trade deficit grew to $31.3 billion last year, the largest since the COVID-19 pandemic. Overall, exports were down slightly, but the Canadian economy is slowly shifting away from the U.S., with 5.8% fewer exports going south. And exports to countries excluding the U.S. rose by 17.2% in 2025.
We have what the world wants, whether it's gone from critical mineral, from energy, from natural resources.
The finance minister adds while Canada wants to work with the U.S., there are other trading opportunities out there.
CTV's Mike Couture reporting in Ottawa. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we're heading to our YMA kitchen for a sweet treat. That's coming up next. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Hi, welcome back. It is 8:23, and last time we talked to Ivy, we talked desserts, but in 2026, bakeries are switching things up and providing more tasty options with less portions, gluten-free, low sugar, and today we're going to talk about breakfast.
Yay!
So we are joined by Ivy Kwok-Chipman, who is the founder of Bake Theory Artisan Bakery. What do you have for us today?
So, Brienne, you know, today I brought a lot of breakfast to share with everyone.
Yes.
Watching CTV.
So smart. Look at you.
Yeah, it's a morning show. And then breakfast is very important, like the first meal for the day, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So today I bake a lot of like artisan bagels.
Okay.
So these are Japanese style. So the difference between Japanese bagel and New York bagel, it's very fluffy, soft, and not dense.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're chewy because of the way that we make it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then here, you know, we have savory and sweet. Because people not just into sweet, right?
Of course.
We have like cheddar jalapeno and then Newfoundland sea salt with rosemary. I use fresh rosemary. And then sesame with the paste inside as well, and sun-dried tomato with basil, blueberry cream cheese, and the matcha with the red bean paste inside is really good.
Oh my goodness. Were you up at like 2:30 like me today?
Normally I don't sleep.
No, I don't sleep. I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so what are the biggest trends you're seeing for 2026?
Definitely I see that people are more like health conscious.
Right.
Yeah, so instead of portion, they more into like ingredients.
Right.
Yeah, I have customer ask me, do you make your own red bean paste? I say yes, no preservative.
Okay,
yeah,
so
and then less sugar.
Everything from scratch.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so we talked a little bit about these while you guys were on commercial break, but I was obviously smelling all the deliciousness that's coming at me right now. So talk to us about these muffins.
Yeah, this muffin here, we call it all free. It's not like free of charge, but it's like It's like dairy-free, egg-free, and also gluten-free.
Oh,
and
amazing.
nut-free.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So this is definitely for anyone who has an intolerance or is trying to go on that path.
Yeah, so when I'm in the market, I'm making regular muffin. Right. And I also have, this is jumbo size, by the way. And then I have this all-free muffin. So people can see, you know, normally I have 3 flavors, like apple pie, lemon blueberry, you know, mango, coconut, pineapple, different. I swap per you know, market, per event.
Amazing. How do you decide what type of muffin you're going to be doing?
Based on the seasonal ingredients, right? So I source local ingredients from, you know, independent small vendors.
Okay.
Yeah, so I see what they have fresh, and then I'll put into my muffins with love.
Oh, yes, you can definitely smell the love here. You can see the love. Look at how beautiful these are. Also, happy International Muffin Day.
Yeah.
Apparently it is
Muffin Day?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. I made it right.
All right, and then these you said are vegan.
Yeah, these are vegan. So they're using you know, the trend for 2026 is also into the texture and vegan as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so multiple texture layer. The bottom is the pecan crust. I use whole pecan. You know, blend it with the raw coconut.
Okay.
Shredded coconut, and also, you know, some coconut butter, oil. And then the color layer is actually the fruit itself. I blend into compote.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, there's no gelatin, nothing, you know, because it's vegan, right?
Right.
And then I also have the gluten-free cake layer.
Okay.
Yeah, and then top with the fruit.
They're beautiful, and I bet they're delicious. And then finally, what do you have here?
These are guilt-free cookie bites.
Oh, guilt-free.
Yeah. So the one, so this one you're trying is chocolate pistachio. It's really light and you know, crispy.
It's so delicious. What are the other flavors we have here?
So this one is coffee with caramel. And the green one, definitely matcha with almond. Right. And the pink one is no coloring. It's beetroot powder with rose.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah. Well, this is all incredible. Where can people find you?
Saturday, I'm in Brewery Market, except this coming one, because my husband's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, to Andrew Chipman. Yeah, okay, so normally every Saturday, I will be in the Brewery Market. Okay. And then coming up in March 29th, I will join the Mum Market at the Micmac Mall.
Okay.
For Easter.
Amazing.
So will be a lot of goodies. And then first day in Partning Mall, you know, I'm joining the labeling market.
Amazing. Well, this is all incredible. I wish we had smell-o-vision for you, because then you could smell it. But you can just go and visit her then.
Yeah, or order online. You know, or we also do catering as well.
Well, there we go. We have all that information. We've linked that to our website. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to eat some more, and we'll be right back after this.
Still ahead, a sunny start in Macadam, New Brunswick. The snow is sparkling. We're going to have one last look at the Friday forecast and look ahead to the warnings in place for Monday as well. That's coming up in the last 30 minutes of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning and welcome back. The time now is 8:31. I feel like this show has flown by. We've had so many great guests on the show. Ivy is incredible.
Yeah.
Yes, she's a sweetheart.
So sweet, yeah, and so talented at what she does.
So talented. All of her ingredients super fresh. You know, she's following those trends, especially with those intolerances, because it's so hard to find good baked goods, especially if you have an intolerance, right? My sister is deathly allergic to nuts, and so like finding like anything made without nuts is so hard.
Yes.
Same with like eggs and like all of that, right? So, but chef's kiss. I had 3 of those guiltless cookies. I said one more would have made them guilty, because then I would have made them so I only had 3. But I think you should try them all personally.
Absolutely. And I know she gets up at 3 in the morning to bake fresh before she goes to the market.
Yeah, no, and honestly, you could, like I said, I wish this was smell-o-vision, because you could smell the quality, and there's nothing like the smell of a freshly baked bagel to me. Like I love that.
Very good.
I opened the door to say hi to her, and I was like, ooh, whoosh, beautiful.
Chef's kiss. Are we baking today?
Yeah,
Is it a good day to stay inside to bake?
Yeah, why not? It's going to be nice, though, if you want to get outside a little bit later on.
Okay.
As you can see here in Barrington, the sun is shining early this morning, but it is -9 degrees heading outdoors, so feeling a lot cooler, especially when you're factoring in the wind chill, but temperatures will rise a little bit later on. As of right now, though, -16 degrees in Fredericton, -9 in Charlottetown, -6 in Sydney, with -7 into Halifax. And looking at that wind chill as of right now, as I mentioned, colder, but temperatures will rise a little bit later on. There is still that risk of frostbite over in Labrador City. A special weather statement remains in effect. This is for Monday evening until noon. Tuesday, we expect a coastal system to make its way over, bringing snow and some gusty winds. Over to Newfoundland. Parts of Newfoundland experiencing a winter storm warning today, a blowing snow advisory. We also have a blowing snow advisory in effect for parts of Labrador, a winter storm warning, and a snowfall warning. Here's a look at the satellite and radar. We do have a bit of active weather tracking across parts of Newfoundland and Labrador today. For the maritime region, could see a bit of flurry activity early in the morning, clearing though, leaving sunshine for all 3 maritime provinces. For the wind across the maritime region, going to remain quite light, 31 kilometers per hour right now in Canso, 24 in Grand Detang, with 20 into Sydney. No wind gusts to report. We'll take one last look at your forecast coming up, but one last look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. New Brunswick RCMP have accused a youth of participating in terrorist activities involving the 764 network, an online group recently added to Canada's list of terrorist entities. Mounties say the youth is now subject to a terrorism peace bond, the second imposed on a youth in the province this month. RCMP alleged the youth used online sites to promote the group, which they say uses social media and gaming platforms to spread violent narratives and radicalize people. In Nova Scotia, job cuts started yesterday and are expected to impact a number of departments before next week's budget. About 80 positions across a number of departments have been eliminated, according to a provincial employee who asked CTV News not to be identified. It's expected the upcoming budget will reduce the size of the civil service by 5%, while Crown corporations will shrink by 3%. Another 175 employees are being redeployed. The NSGEU confirmed the layoffs, noting the province will be less welcoming because many of the job losses impact those working in tourism.
I know some of these folks, and they are good, hardworking Nova Scotians, great ambassadors to this province. My heart goes out to them because this is devastating news, no question.
Sandra Mullen says the layoffs will see the closure of visitor information centers, including the busy one at Peggy's Cove. A handful of schools in New Brunswick are on edge about the future. The province there is trying to find places to save money in order to combat its $1.3 billion deficit. One option is to close schools with fewer than 10 students. In Riverside, Albert, the community has created a petition to keep the 121-year-old Riverside Consolidated School open to the 50 students it serves.
I would like to think that it would not happen. But 11 years ago, we fought to keep this school open, and they really had to rally and fight. And I believe representatives from the district came and were bused from Elma all the way to Hillsborough to see what it would be like.
We are not in favor of closing any of our schools. Having consulted with the minister, it's clear that this is an exercise where they're looking at everything around the province. So it's not an exercise where everybody should be panicked right away. There will be a time for panic if and when we get there. We are nowhere near that point.
The process to close a school takes time too, but the finance minister said earlier this week, other than raising taxes, everything is on the table. Another Halifax brewery is turning off its taps. After 9 years in business, Two Crows announced online they would be closing their doors at both their Brunswick Street and Quinpool Road locations on March 8th. They're not the only craft brewery to close in our region in the last few years. Charlottetown-based Upstreet Brewing shut down last year after a decade in the business, while Serpent Brewing in Spryfield closed in late 2023. Now to the latest prices at the pumps. For the most part, you'll be paying the same or less to fill up. In Nova Scotia Zone 1, gas fell by 1.8 cents. The minimum price now $1.36.2. Diesel decreased by 5.4 cents. The minimum price $1.81.8 a liter. In PEI, no change in the price of gas. It rests at $1.49. And after a price drop earlier this week, the price of diesel remains unchanged at $1.88.4. And in New Brunswick, gas decreased by 1.6 cents a liter. The maximum price $1.39.6. And an increase in diesel in New Brunswick. It jumped by 5.6 cents. The maximum price now $1.94 a liter. Finally, as Toronto and Vancouver prepare to host the FIFA World Cup, we're getting another signal of just how many visitors are expected to travel for the tournament. Vacation rental platform Airbnb says searches for stays in FIFA host cities have increased by 80% compared to the same period last year. So the company is offering a new cash incentive of $750 to boost the number of listings ahead of the World Cup. This comes amid warnings from travel industry experts that accommodations will be scarce and costs will be high in both cities.
Both cities are already very expensive to rent anything in, like hotels, Airbnbs,
apartments.
Yep, I've lived in both.
Yeah.
I've literally lived in both. Definitely a little bit of expense there, but again, it's all could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for people, right? So it's pretty awesome.
Is that happening the same time that the Jays start playing?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Yes, because oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nope, after you.
Oh, I was just going to say, a friend of ours who is a big Jays fan was looking up getting some tickets and said, not when FIFA's happening.
Oh, yeah,
not happening.
Okay.
It kind of works for that city because they're already seeing that increase in visitors. So you kind of get to do the both experience, but the CFL is still on at that time too, so.
Oh, wow, busy.
Yeah, lots going on. Lots of sports this summer.
Yeah.
All right, so we celebrated it being Muffin Day because February 20th is Muffin Day. But it's also National Love Your Pet Day. So to embrace one that special little friend, you have to hug them. So I, did my thing and made everyone send me pictures. And so here are some of our pets because, they always get...
Oh, is this your sister's dogs?
Yeah, that was Oscar.
Oh,
There's
my
Mav.
goodness.
Yeah.
That's Molly.
Molly.
Oh, so adorable.
Right? So adorable.
Oh, little
Deucer.
Yeah, the Deucer.
The Deucer living his best life.
So cute.
That's Stanley.
Yeah. Those eyes.
Those eyes. That cat is so
That's Marge.
Oh, look at Margie.
Bad dog.
What?
Oh, my God.
That's Oscar and Lucy.
Oh, she is too.
Yeah. Yeah, she is
So
too.
cute. Oh, yeah. Every time I sit on the ground, Dewey sits on my lap.
I love how he's a lap dog.
Yes.
That is Mav.
Oh, my
In all his
gosh.
glory.
Oh.
I did have Angus on video, but the video wasn't working, so alas. Shout out to
Angus is
too.
cute.
Yeah.
Very cute kitty.
I heard grumpy.
Very grumpy. He only likes a certain few. You have to be special.
A grumpy cat.
All right. Well, what's happening in our region? Lots this weekend. So,
yeah.
what are we highlighting today?
Okay, well, we'll start off with the first one. I believe it's in Woodstock. Yes, it is. The Maritime Snowmobile Championship Racing. So is celebrating the beautiful location, lots of snow, lots of races taking place, vendors, and merch. You can head over there from today until February 22nd. Go to the website for additional details. And we also have the AUS Basketball Championships. We've discussed this. Brianne has mentioned it many times on the show. It's going to be quite a busy weekend. We have about 12 teams, I believe, women's and men's basketball, February 20th until the 22nd at Scotiabank Center. And we also have the Cape Breton Dance and Kaylee taking place in Halifax this weekend. On Sunday, February 22nd, you can attend this dance. All ages is welcome. It's from 3 to 6 p.m. And if you're interested in purchasing tickets, you can head over to the Fairview Legion. That's where it's going to take place. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. If you do have an upcoming event, though, for next week or beyond, send us an email, yourmorningatlantic@ctv.ca. Time now, 8:41. We'll be right back after this. Good morning and welcome back. The time now is 8:44 on your Friday morning. Clear skies over in Sambro. Currently at -5 degrees in your area. Temperatures will rise a little bit later. For some, above seasonal for your daytime highs, but it is a cold stretch of the day right across the board. As of right now, -16 degrees in Fredericton, -9 in Charlottetown, -7 degrees in Halifax, -6 in Sydney, -27 degrees in Labrador City with -4 in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a special weather statement in effect across Nova Scotia and for the central and eastern region of Prince Edward Island. This is for Monday evening until around noon on Tuesday, as we are expecting a system to move in, bringing snowfall around 15 to 25 centimeters. Wind gusts could get up to 80 kilometers per hour. Also have a winter storm warning in effect for this afternoon until Saturday for the Great Northern Peninsula. Looking at up to 30 centimeters of accumulation. Blowing snow advisory as well for this weekend. Could see up to 15 centimeters within that blowing snow. Wind gusts of up to 70. A blowing snow advisory also in effect for parts of Labrador with a winter storm warning for this morning until Saturday, could see 20 to 30 centimeters of snowfall, wind gusts of 70 kilometers per hour, and a snowfall warning as well for this afternoon until Saturday, snowfall ranging from 10 to 30 centimeters. So here's a look at our forecast timeline. We are still dealing with some active weather across Labrador and parts of Newfoundland. For the maritime region, a chance of some shower activity early in the morning, flurry activity early in the morning. But if you do not see that, it will clear out anyway if you do. And if you don't, you're going to be left with sunshine for all three maritime provinces. Into the afternoon, temperature is going to rise, still remaining above seasonal for parts of the maritime region, but we are seeing that colder air really track across the region yet again today. Into tonight, temperatures really cooling down, especially when you factor in that wind chill overnight, with another low pressure system headed our way, bringing light snowfall back around for parts of the maritime region. If you're wondering about snowfall totals, look at around 1 to 5 centimeters for parts of New Brunswick, 1 to 15 across parts of Nova Scotia, heaviest being into the western region of Nova Scotia, 10 to 15 centimeters for parts of Labrador, and 1 to 15 for parts of Newfoundland. Starting off the day, lots of sunshine for New Brunswick, sticking around into the afternoon as well. Highs between -7 to 2 degrees and pretty light wind expected. For Prince Edward Island, looking at highs between -6 to -4. Lots of sunshine across the island, pretty light wind out of the northwest, 20 kilometers per hour. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, lots of sunshine for you as well. Daytime highs between -3 to 2 degrees. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, you'll be seeing lots of sunshine throughout your day as well. Snow arrives into the evening, though, starting off into the western region of the province. Highs between 2 to 4 degrees. Labrador City, a chance of flurries expected throughout your day. A cold daytime high of -18 degrees with 0 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Looking at a mix of sun and cloud, flurries expected into the evening. Saturday's forecast, temperatures start to cool down further, especially for the maritime region. We were dealing with these warm temperatures. That is not going to be the case into this weekend. We do still have a flurry activity for parts of the maritime region. Newfoundland, Labrador still seeing that snowfall. And then for Saturday night, that snowfall, light snowfall increases across all three maritime provinces. And into Sunday's forecast, we start to see that really clear out into the afternoon. Temperatures colder yet again, but lots of sunshine in the forecast. Newfoundland still dealing with some active weather, Brianne.
Thank you so much for that, Latavia. Of course, it is African Heritage Month, and so this year we are highlighting the drummers. Olugu is here joining us once again. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Nana.
Look at these outfits. They look amazing. Obviously, this year you want to highlight how you've connected with communities and united families through drumming. So how has that happened for you this year?
It has been a wonderful experience. You know, in the face of global health and immigration crisis, Canadians have joined in a powerful rhythm, a rhythm of hope, a rhythm of compassion, and a rhythm of action, because we are all interconnected. The global crisis is affecting everyone, so we've been able to use the rhythm of our drum to bring the communities together and drumming up support, hope, and smiles for everyone undergoing this global crisis.
I love it. Strength, unity, togetherness. You had a goal of 50 drums, and now your goal is over 100. Why is that?
Because the more we create awareness, the more Canadians see the need to collaborate and connect. Because when we are united, impossible is nothing.
How is it that drumming has demonstrated Canada's pride in diversity, equity, and belonging?
Because when we drum, it's not about us. With these drums, we can engage everyone. You know, after COVID, many people don't want to come together again because everyone is afraid of contacting the COVID. Even after the COVID, nobody wants to come to work again. A recent statistics says that about 93% of people wants to work from home. So with this drum now, we are able to bring people out again, to reconnect people, to reinvigorate people, and to re-establish our strength as a community.
I love everything about that. All right, well, the people want to hear you drum, so we're going to let the people hear what they want to hear. Bring us all together.
Hello, everyone. We are joining the CTV crew to celebrate African Heritage Month. Join us as we celebrate one another, because the housing, the poverty, and the crisis is affecting everyone. Let's drum our support for one another. Can we take it away?
just feel like re-energized now.
I know.
Literally, you should have seen me, like, just standing there, staring and just smiling, and like the energy in my body right now. I was tired. I ain't tired no more.
Right?
No.
Really uplifts you.
Oh, I love it so much. And they're booked.
They're booked
this season. They're going to 57 schools. Amazing.
So incredible.
Amazing.
They were at my son's school last year, and they're going again this year. And they said, yeah, my son talked about it for days.
Absolutely.
Afterwards. It was really cute.
We love it.
We love this. And we love to hear from you. This is the time when we share viewer text. So earlier today, we were talking about like what your Disney World is, a place that you just love to go and visit. You feel happy, you feel at peace. You have some fun places you like to go. Cheryl from Lunenburg County says, our happy place is the local bowling alley. We play in a couple of leagues, and it's really social, good exercise, and breaks up the monotony of winter.
I love that, Cheryl.
great.
I would be way too competitive.
Yeah, I'm really good at bowling, actually, so.
I'm not. That's what makes me more competitive.
I think we need to go bowling now.
You do, yes.
We need to show
Cheryl,
this
we're
in
coming.
action.
Cheryl, we're coming.
Watch out, Cheryl, we're coming. David from Enfield says, my place to get away from it all is to jump into the motorhome or truck and camper and go. Fun begins when we park it.
That's awesome.
So fair.
Oh, the world's your oyster, as long as you got good parking.
Yeah, that's true.
Angela from Fredericton, my version of Disney World is going to Michael's to look at all the beautiful different colors, yarns, and decide what I'm going to knit.
Oh my God.
Sounds like my mom.
Angela, we love that.
Like, if you're crafty, that's the place to go.
Definitely.
This checks out. Mo from Bathurst, Bass Pro Shop.
Of course Mo loves there.
Of course.
You know what, though? Not gonna lie, I love Bass Pro Shop. I don't hunt, I don't fish, I don't do any of it, but so much stuff.
It is, it's really cool.
It's so cool to see. There's always like stuffed animals, like real stuff.
Well, it's a camo. It's hard to see in there, right? It's camouflage. Faye from Middle Sackville, my version of Disney World. Oh,
gone.
It's gone. We'll never know. No, she says she likes to go to a wooded trail and out in nature. Patty from PEI 2. My favorite place to get away from it all, watching the sunrise by the water.
Oh, yeah.
That's so fair. That's so fair.
Yeah, which is sweet. Cynthia, my Disney World would be searching for sea glass or any little finds on the beach.
That's awesome.
I don't get to go enough, but that does make me happy.
That's so true.
Aww.
And then also, too, we have Karen from Wolfville. My Disney World are the exhibitions where I show my horses. So many great people and so much fun.
Cool, Karen.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Great ideas. Definitely great ideas. So thank you for sharing with us your Disney World. We hope you find your Disney World this coming weekend. What a gorgeous shot.
I know, I love a good drone shot around here. See, winter's beautiful. And even though this is the end of our Friday show, we hope you join us on Monday. We're already working ahead. We'll pay another visit to Parkland at the Common to check out what the residents have on the menu when it comes to dining. I know Crystal was very impressed.
Absolutely. And singer Jen Grant will drop by to discuss her new album, Queen of the Street, and her upcoming tour.
Also, make sure to keep in mind the forecast because we are expecting a storm on Monday, bringing snow for parts of the Maritime region.
Oh, that's another one. Could have another snow day ahead.
These ducks won't like it, but you know.
Look at that hat.
Stylish.
So cute. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.